They'll be at Chelsea. We're also going through interesting times in their quest to be champions for a 5th time in a row. Well, they've all got plenty of medals, that's for sure. Maybe not the Oscar Bobs of the group, but he looks as though he's got plenty to come. Wonderful part in the equalizer. 2 really good goals in the 90 minutes. And then a set of splendid penalties from the champions. Well, they're looking, as far as the league is concerned, to extend that wonderful winning streak. Today, after an unusual period of failure in this fixture, an unusual losing streak, 3 losses in a row coming into this resumption of battle with Manchester United. Now they're in the winners' enclosure, up on the Royal Box, and today they have recaptured the Community Shield. The winners of the Shield 2024 are Manchester City. Takes a bit of holding up. Strong arms, but strong hearts. They needed those today, Stuart.
They certainly did. They looked as though they were out of the game, but again, they showed their determination. Bob with a cross. Bernardo Silva, who'd just come on with a really determined header. And then they kept their nerve in the penalty shootout. But certainly Manchester United played their part in what was a very good game.
Well, as the sun is beginning to set on this August Saturday afternoon, the blue moon is certainly rising as the song goes, as the fixture has shown. But it was tough for City. They did it the hard way, but they go home with the trophy. Hope you've enjoyed our coverage from Stuart Robson and myself, Martin Tyler. Until the next time, a very goodbye to you all.
Well, seconds away from a 4th Shield defeat in as many years. Twice these Manchester City players looked in big trouble, and twice they have turned it around. More winners' medals for them. They're certainly no strangers to silverware generally. This 7th win for the club in this fixture comes 5 years after their last. Manchester United, well, they were more than a match, certainly, but at the end, what some will technically see as a draw, they have been beaten, and that huge shiny piece of silverware is going back to the blue half of Manchester. Let's have a quick recap now of the main moments from a really entertaining curtain raiser. Well, it took a while to get going. And there wasn't a shot on target for an hour or so, but there were some chances. This the first really notable one of them, and it was one of the City youngsters getting a fair bit of game time this pre-season. Oscar Bob, do not be surprised if you hear a lot more of him this season. Pep Guardiola clearly has faith. The first half of the first half certainly saw City controlling the game without seriously threatening. This was the first time they got really close. Manchester United not be the first team to get pressed into trouble at the back, and they made a bit of a mess of that. James McAtee, another youngster, getting a start here this afternoon. So close to curling the Premier League champions in front. Lovely effort that had Onana beaten, but off the upright it came. The second half of the first half was all about Manchester United and largely about Amad Diallo at a couple of nearly moments, notably this one. Right in the thick of a move, he opted not to shoot, tried to square it for Mason Mount. Somehow between them they got their angles wrong. It was a beautiful flowing move, the best bit of football either side had produced throughout the whole game. A 1-2, but no 3 on the end of it. Into the second half. A lovely finish coming up here from Bruno Fernandes. He took it so nicely, but he was already looking over his shoulder, and after a couple of seconds that flag did indeed go up for offside. And rightly so, as it turned out. Didn't he take it well? Marcus Rashford had a chance at the end of the first half too, and Bruno would go on to have the match's first shot on target. At this point we saw a lot of substitutes, and one of them, Alejandro Garnacho, teed up Rashford there, but he scuffed it. Wonderful opportunity. You see here it comes off the ankle rather than the foot. The same upright that McAtee hit in the first half. Rashford hit here in the second. It was Rashford's header here down that seemed to be in the path of Scott McTominay, another who'd come off the United bench. He couldn't quite react quickly enough with the ball coming through. A few players there. At that point there had still been only one shot on target all game long, and that had been a comfortable save for Ederson, but he didn't have any chance with this one. Garnacho making room and finding the corner quite brilliantly. The young Argentine who scored the opener in the FA Cup final against Manchester City, scoring the opener in this one here, and for a good while it had United in front and looking likely to lift the shield. Beautifully taken goal. With 88 on the clock, Manchester City needing something a bit late, a bit special. Well, they found it through one of their own substitutes, actually. The birthday boy, Bernardo, nodding them level. Superb work from Oscar Bob. Slightly less superb work from Facundo Pellistri, who let the diminutive Portuguese steal in and head home for 1-1. But look at the speed of footwork here.